Hello and welcome everyone to another episode of Ask Dr. Zaino Live. Thank you for being here. We've got dozens of chiropractors on already. I just want to kind of orientate you to what you're looking at here at chirothoughtleaders.com/ask-dr-Zaino. Of course, you've got the live video there where you're watching and listening to me. Right below that, you've got a button that says Join the Spinal Hygiene Movement. In the background, you've got my 2-year-old that's yelling and screaming. And then below that, you have all the follow us buttons. Hit them, like them, Google+, tweet, all those good things. And below that, you'll notice there's already some comments in the chat below. Join in that chat roll. Let us know where you're listening from, and let us know along this process if you have any questions at all, and we'll definitely get to them. And we've got a special show for you tonight. Really the theme or the title is basically the 3 ways to set up more outside talks. And before we start or jump into that, I want to introduce the co-host tonight, Chris Zaino. How are you, my friend?
What's going on, Tim? Thank you everybody for coming out, and I appreciate you being here to hear part 2. This has really been like a big concern with a lot of people. You know, it's this making the step, because awareness is really the core value of this program, right? So how do you get awareness? So this is where Tabor's going to go over what he has actually been doing, him and his office manager, to be able to get some unique ways of getting out and getting the message out to people. And I think you'll all appreciate it and you'll find a lot of value in it. So because, you know, we have limited time, Tabor, do we have any questions so far yet?
Actually, we have a comment, which I commented back to it, but I think it's great. They thought that the launch and the videos were great. They're extremely helpful. And then they think that that's exactly where chiropractic needs to be heading. And they actually asked if we've considered developing an app for that they could share with patients. So I said that I think that's a great idea. It's kind of a neat idea that might help get the word out a little bit more. So
100%.
Yeah.
All right, Dr. Tabor. So, and then if you're watching this, post those comments and questions so we can get to you live.
Right.
And as Dr. Tabor's doing that. So, Dr. Tabor, you'll see the comments and questions. So, if one comes up and you feel fit to stop or to maneuver it into whatever topic you're on, and go from there. But definitely, everybody take your notes and notepads out and pens and take notes on this and start applying it tomorrow. All right, Tabor, do it, man.
Awesome. Well, I think what you said is spot on in that it's a mindset. It's a point where we start is create that culture of lifetime spinal wellness in your office. And then step 2 is get out into the public and try to share that message with as many people as you can. And you'll start to realize that that is a magnetic message. You know, a lot of people think that in marketing, and don't get me wrong, you're going to get those pain patients. You're going to get those people who come in with a motivation at first. But a lot of people say that all you have to do is market. All you need to do is market pain, and that there's no draw for lifetime spinal wellness. Well, obviously, with Dr. Zaino's office, in my office, that's not true. And it people come in for wellness, and then they also come in for pain, and they get transitioned into wellness, and they begin to pick up the principle. They begin to understand, and just like Dr. Zaino says in his dinner workshop, it's like that type of person, once they learn the principles of chiropractic, it transforms them and becomes contagious, and it starts to spread, and they share it with their friends and their family, and then that brings more people in for the right reasons. So starting with, we covered in the launch series at spinalhygienedoctor.com, we covered the mindset about spinal hygiene. But then this week we're going to talk about, well, how do you get out into the public? How do you set up more outside talks? And I was thinking, in our office we really do 3 different ways. And I'll just go through all 3 here, and then we'll cover each one. And number 1 is the day 3 process. If you haven't got the dynamic dinner, you need to go to dynamicdinner.com and opt in to those videos, because that fully explains the day 3 process. Really what that means is you're asking your patients to help you get out into the community and set up more talks and come to their businesses. But we actually did trainings on this in the Ask Dr. Zaino show. You can look back in the archives of YouTube, and you'll see we've actually done trainings on day 3 before. But that's the first step is, of course, you want to go right to your patients and ask them, can you get into their business? Can you set up lunch and learns that direction? And because we've trained on that before, I'm not going to jump in that. Go see dynamicdinner.com. But the second and the third is something that's new, and it's working really well in our office, and we haven't been training on as much. The second way to set up talks is networking. And my marketing manager is actually going to do a live class for all the Spinal Hygiene members who sign up for the Spinal Hygiene program. And by the way, you can go to spinalhygienedoctor.com to check that out. But February 8th, I'm going to have my marketing manager train on this process called networking. And what we've done is we get her into all the networking events. So she goes to all the chamber events. She goes to BNI, Toastmasters, Meetup, anything that she can do where there's people there. And her main job is to set up lunch and learns. So basically, if you've ever been to BNI or if you've been to the chamber, everybody stands up, they've got their 30 seconds to share their elevator speech. And hers is something like, we help people take care of their spine. And what you can do for me this week is find me a business my doctor can come into and do a free workshop, provided lunch, so that your employees can be more productive, feel better, and be able to do all this thing. So every day, or I think they meet once a week on each one of these different networking entities. All she's doing is trying to set up lunch and learns. And it works. It works really well because inside these groups like BNI, you're trying to help one another. In fact, they even track it. They keep these little pieces of paper that says, I got a referral for you, I have a referral for you. And so if one of them owns a business and all they have to do is let the other person in BNI come in to do a lunch and learn, they'll do that all day long. And we set those up quite a bit. And when you first start, trust me, when you first get your marketing manager into those, you're going to be doing lunch and learns all the time. And then it might slow down a little bit, but you'll continue to get them. So this networking is a great way to start setting up outside talks and get into businesses, build relationships with those businesses. And like I said, for everybody who joins the program, which I'll share more about in just a second, we're actually going to do a live training on the second week just on how we do that, what they say, how you set up those lunch and learns, and those types of things. The third way that we talk about is direct to business. And we've developed an 8-step system to contact businesses. So number one, you're trying to go through a patient, which is a warm lead. Number two, you're trying to network and create that relationship and go through. But number three, the third way that we set up outside talks is going and directly calling those businesses, or actually going in person and trying to set up these talks. So what I'd like to do is take you guys into the program and actually show you not only everything that's inside, but show you the 8-step system. You can go back and watch video number 4 of the launch if you'd like to learn a little bit more there. And then, you know what, before we actually get into the 8 steps to setting up lunch and learns and talks, let me take a couple of questions here that are coming in. I do appreciate your guys' live questions. So Melvin says, if the doc doesn't have a dedicated staff person to make his calls to set up outside talks, that's what we're about to talk about, is it okay for the doc to do this, or is that too tacky, quote unquote, as well as ineffective? And I say, absolutely, it's okay for you to do it. In fact, I did it for a long time, and I sometimes still go in during the hour that we set aside every week to do that. And sometimes I do them because you're more likely to actually set it up if the doctor is called. That being said, though, you don't have to spend your time setting that up. You can certainly pay a marketing manager to do that for you, and sometimes it's just as effective. But if you're just starting out, the key is to hustle. And hustling is you making those phone calls, you going to the businesses. Dr. Zaino and I, we went to a seminar this weekend. We were approached by a young gentleman who was about to graduate from life, and he was asking, well, should I do lunch and learn? Should I do talks? Should I do screenings? What should I really focus on when I start my practice? And we both just said, hustle, do it all, man. Get out there. Wherever that opportunity lies, grab it. And that's what you got to do to be able to grow that practice, to be able to get it big. And I'm still a big proponent of spinal screenings. But we take every opportunity we can to set up outside talks as well. But great question, and I think it's absolutely okay for the doctor to do that and set that up. In fact, what I would do is treat it kind of like you're trying to get to know your neighbors. And in just a second, when we jump in and we talk about building the list of companies to call, we'll talk a little bit more about it. But I would kind of take the approach that, hey, I'm Dr. Tabor. I'm actually about a block from you guys from the company. I don't think we've ever really met before, but I just wanted to say hi. I wanted to let you know that we're doing a community service. We're actually setting up lunch workshops for the companies right around our office. And if you'd like to work together or set something up, can I get your email so I can send you more information? And that's all you got to do. And then, of course, they're going to be more friendly to you if they know you're their neighbor. Trust me, they will be. But all the scripts as well, those are in there. Melvin also says, I tend to procrastinate on getting things started, like setting up outside talks. I am a long-term sufferer of paralysis by analysis. Do you recommend that I at least get something started and then improve as I go? 100%. It's the name of the game. And if you're not, you know what, you're never going to be perfect. But that's the number one thing that causes paralysis is we wait till everything is set up perfect before we actually jump in and do anything. And that's certainly not the right way to go about it. So just make yourself do it. Sit down and go through this 8-step system that I'm going to talk about right now. In fact, I'm going to share my screen here. All right. There we go. And can you see my screen, Dr. Zaino? Okay. All right. So this is the inside of the Spinal Hygiene Movement members area. So once you join the Spinal Hygiene Movement, which you can go to spinalhygienedoctor.com, you can actually go to spinalhygienedoctor.com/final-page, and that will take you to the sales page where you can actually join and log in. Or you can click the link right below this video if you're watching from live from the site, and you can join that way. By the way, this closes tomorrow night at midnight because this is going to be a live, there's 6 weeks of live classes and then monthly live classes after that. So it will close down tomorrow night at midnight. That will be the last chance you can get it. I highly recommend you go right now and join. And then once you join, you'll see that there are actually 5 different areas of this website. And the first one is the Lunch and Learn program. So you're going to learn how to set up more Lunch and Learns. And let's go through the 8-step system here. And we go through one-on-one with videos and with downloads of each one. Step number 1 is the list. We're going to make a list of those businesses around your community you want to go in. Step number 2 is contact the list, and you actually got the script for phone calls right below that video. Step number 3 would be follow-up. So when you make those phone calls, the cool thing about this program is, you know, most people will hang up on you as soon as you try to call a business, but well, we actually are not trying to take up a lot of time. So what we do is we want to tell them what we're all about, what we're doing, and just ask them if we can get an email to send them more information. This makes it very friendly, very easy to start getting that lead. And that's what we want, is that lead so we can follow up with. And what email do you send them? Well, it has the email template and also a backup phone call. So if you don't get an email back from them right away, it's the script that you call them back and tell them that you haven't heard from them. Ask them if you need to send them another email. And it works really well. Now, step 4, schedule the event. And then step 5, once you have the event scheduled, then we have confirmation emails that we're sending them so that they can email to their employees and let them know that we're about to do a presentation. And this is a really cool portion of the program. There's actually 2 different presentations in here. Number 1 is a PowerPoint. You get all the PowerPoints and the flyers. It's the Spinal Health and Hygiene Safety class. A lot of companies want you to come in and do a spinal safety class. So this actually gets you in, and it helps you do just a top-notch professional PowerPoint. In fact, I want to download this flyer for you that you will hand out. You know, a lot of them want ideas, or they want tips and strategies on ergonomics in their businesses. So you got flyers that you can actually give them before you do your presentation in your Lunch and Learn. It also comes with my presentation that I do at the Lunch and Learns that you don't need a PowerPoint for. So you don't have to lug around your projector all the time. And then there's even more modules. The big day, that's making sure you have the list of everything that you need when you go do those talks. And the event follow-up system. This thing is cool. Not a lot of people do anything after their talk. You give the talk, the new patients come in, you're done. This is a 10-step follow-up system that you actually go through. I'll show you. And it will let you, let's see, here it is. It'll remind you, send them a personalized note, send them a message on Facebook, enter their emails into your email list, drop by their businesses. So there's 10 things that you'd want to do after every event, and that will help you to actually be more successful when you do the events. All right. So that was just the business lecture kit. I'm going to go back to the home page here. You'll notice that there's also an in-office workshop program as well, because remember what I said, step 1 was building that lifetime culture inside your practice. Step 2 is getting out there in the community and setting up more talks and sharing this message with more people so we can bring the patients in. Well, this in-office workshop program helps us with step 1. We've got to create that lifetime that feeling of lifetime care in our office for every patient that comes in. And so there's steps to actually getting people to your workshops. So getting started, standing room only is the module that actually shares how do we invite people, what are the flyers that we put up. So we got flyers and handouts that are part of this program as well, a sign-up sheet that you put out, and then check out these presentations. So this is the new patient orientation workshop that I do in my office, and then this is the advanced talk and the advanced workshop for spinal hygiene inside your office, and people love this, and this just makes lifetimers out of your patients. It really does. So then we have not only that, those workshops and those PowerPoints, but we got the big day and the event follow-up for your workshops as well there. And then let's see, I'm going to go ahead and take you through the other modules here, the other programs inside this, and then we'll get back to the questions. I know I heard a couple people were putting questions in there. So look at this, the posture cure. So Dr. Zaino and I teamed up, and I filmed Dr. Zaino's posture cure program that he uses inside of his office for all of his new patients. A lot of people have been asking, how do you do corrective care on the type of high volume office that Dr. Zaino runs? Well, he does it by making sure that everything is automated, that patient gets prescribed exercises that they need based off their x-rays, but it's done in a very automated system so that you don't have to spend 10, 20 minutes with every patient teaching them how to do their home exercises. So in this program, not only does Dr. Zaino show you how to prescribe corrective care exercises for what you find in their exams, but you get the prescription sheet, which is a very high-class professional sheet that will allow you to mark what exercises that patient needs to do to get correction. And then you will also get your own web page. So if you go to theposturecure.com, www.theposturecure.com, you're going to see that web page there, but you'll get one for your office. So for instance, my office is theposturecure.com/purelife, because my office name is Pure Life Chiropractic. And so we set that up for you and take your email opt-in form and put it on that page. So every patient that you send to theposturecure.com/your name, they would opt in with their name and email, so you know that they looked at those exercises and they're logged in, and you can follow up with emails for them later. So asking them how they're doing, or marketing emails, and just getting them on your email list that way. You also get the 12 posture study handouts that we created for this program. So 12 different studies that show the importance of maintaining and correcting their posture. And you can give those and use those in your office as well. The member store, a lot of people were asking us about these home spinal care kits that we use in our office. And so you'll actually have access to purchasing those kits if you're a member of the Spinal Hygiene Movement program. And then let's see. And then, and the one thing that I didn't cover yet is spine class. So we have one live coaching class per week for the members every week for 6 weeks. And then we go monthly and we'll do live coaching classes. So my goal is to get you inside businesses and get you started using these workshops, and I'll answer any questions, do anything that I need to help you succeed in doing that. And so the price for this program, if you guys want to see that, it's really, almost inexpensive. That I don't think we have another program that is actually this easy to get into. Let me take you to it right here. So if you go to spinalhygienedoctor.com/final page, it'll show everything that you get in the program here. And then you'll see there's 3 options for you to buy in or for you to purchase this program. Now, you can go as low as $197 a month and cancel anytime. So even if you just wanted to check out the program and see what's in it and see how it's done, you could join it for $197. And I highly recommend, very least, that you take advantage of that, because it will close down tomorrow night at midnight. You won't be able to get back in. But what I would recommend is that you choose either the $497 or the $1497, because we give a commitment bonus as well. So meaning this is $497 per quarter, and trust me, it's going to be way, way, way. You're going to get, if you get handfuls of new patients coming in your office and you're only paying $497 a quarter for it, unbelievable. That investment. But if you do one of those, either the quarter payment or the yearly payment, for your commitment, we'll throw in the spinal screening program. That program alone is worth $497 if you buy it outright. The new patient retention system DVD, that DVD is awesome. I play it in my waiting room all the time. Builds retention, builds lifetime. And then the waiting room, the bulletproof waiting room DVD. And this might be the best waiting room DVD in the history of the chiropractic profession. It is Dan Sullivan, the research guy, talking about the power of the chiropractic adjustment, and then Dr. Zaino himself giving his life-changing chiropractic testimony, where he went from an incurable bowel disease to a chiropractor who's thriving and saving lives. And it's just a beautiful testimony, a beautiful DVD. Your patients, it turns your patients into lifetime care if your spinal hygiene education doesn't already. So anyway, I will stop sharing my screen here for just a second so we can answer some more of the questions and get back to you here. Awesome. I'm back. All right, so Bob asks, what about developing relationships with local service clubs? Is this still done? What is a service club? That I don't know what that is, unless it's like,
Sure.
Is it what?
I would do it for anybody, anything, anywhere.
Yeah, maybe it's a strip club.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Great, man. Even better.
Yeah, that's even better.
Those high heels kill your back. So yeah, I mean everything, like it's remember, it's about a hygiene movement. It's just getting people awareness.
Yeah. To
what we're doing, and everybody needs to know it. So I mean, as long as it's humans are working there,
right?
Beneficial.
Absolutely.
I would even go. I mean, you could even do all the support groups.
Right. Yeah.
Make your exam fee a donation back to the support group.
Yep. Absolutely.
Because they always, right, Tabor? That's a group that always has to meet.
Yep.
Well, they choose to, like, whether it be alcohol or addiction. You know, these people always have to meet. And when I used to do those, don't think you're going to go into a place with a bunch of people with no jobs.
Right.
You see some guys in nice suits and ties, thousands of dollar suits and ties, dealing with addiction, and they're trying to get better. So don't they go, because it's a public forum or social social club. No, this thing, these are people that are wanting to change their lives. So whether it be a cancer support group, diabetes support group, fibromyalgia support group, addictor support group, smoke, whatever support group it is, you got it.
Right.
You got it. So, and those things, they always meet, they always have something in there, and I would donate every exam fee back to that group.
Yep. Absolutely. And
no brainer.
I talked to a chiropractor this weekend at the seminar, and he was doing different, so we talk about marketing for niche or marketing for symptoms. I mean, he was actually doing workshops out in the community, like at the public library or at the bank where they have like a conference room, and he would do like a neuropathy workshop or a fibromyalgia workshop or something like that, and advertise it in their paper. And he was doing 40 to 50 people a week. He would do a talk in front of, because of those niche topics. And then, you know what? It doesn't matter what, in fact, if they have a symptom, we know they have subluxation. I mean, because what, you lose 40% of function before you even have a symptom. So we know they have subluxation. So if they have a crazy symptom like that, they certainly need to get into your office and be checked for that. So, and any of those, and I think that's a great idea, Dr. Zaino, because we haven't even jumped into that. We just did networking groups, but you can look for different types of groups that meet, because there's so many support groups. They're always looking for a speaker, and especially if they know that there's a doctor out there that would come and do the talks, that's a great idea. Awesome. Well, if anybody doesn't have any questions, we'll start to wind this down. It's about 5 till the half hour. One of the things that I thought was great about this launch, the Spinal Hygiene launch, and if you haven't watched all the videos, go back and watch them before they're gone. There's just dozens of comments below every video, and every comment has been so positive. Chiropractors are coming out saying, we need to get this to the public. This is what chiropractic has been needing to be able to take it to the next level. I haven't gotten one derogatory, and you know what, maybe it's because I've been teaching spinal screenings, and chiropractors hate people who do spinal screenings maybe, but I haven't got one derogatory comment this entire launch. And in fact, you know what, Dr. Zaino, the one thing that the most derogatory comment I got was a guy sent me an email, told me to button my shirt when I do videos. So apparently he didn't.
Hey, because that guy said it, I'm unbuttoning my shirt right now.
There you go.
So I think of that comment. Let me see. Yeah, all right.
All right,
there it is. I like V-necks. There you go.
Too.
Let's unbutton, my man.
Yeah.
Unbutton your collar right now. Come on.
Yeah. So I thought that was good. If that's the only bad thing that I get out of my videos, Was that?
I'm not even gonna button my shirt in my videos anymore. I'm just gonna leave like the shirt just open.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm from New Mexico. That's what they all do down there. So they don't have white t-shirts on under. They let that hair come out, you know? So.
Oh, man. Thank you, brother. Whoever that comment, thanks, brother, man. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Awesome. So I just want to wind down with letting you know that you can go to spinalhygienedoctor.com/final page, /final dash page, or you can click the link right below the video. That's a black button that says join the spinal hygiene movement. And guys, I want you to get that done tonight. You're going to get all the bonuses sent to you. You'll get instant access to this program. And you've got to get in before midnight tomorrow or it will shut down. And so if there's not any more questions, then Dr. Zaino, you have any closing remarks you want to leave with them?
Yeah, no, absolutely. It was like we were talking before we started. You know, next week is Super Bowl week. So that basically, I mean, Tabor and I are in Houston. So,
right, yeah.
I mean, already it's insane. You know, people are flying and doing stuff. So next week starts the distraction of people's lives, including yours. So, I mean, who cares about the Super Bowl, who wins? You know, no one's life was saved. And it's only a game. So I would definitely, for those of you who get on this immediately and take care of it, because it will close and you'll miss the opportunity, next week is a perfect time for you to start rocking these talks and getting spinal hygiene out there. Why? Because I guarantee you all the other chiros in your area are contracting because they're literally taking all the next week off.
Right.
Because it's Super Bowl week.
Yep.
They're contracting and there's so many groups and parties going on. So you can hold host like a little Super Bowl party and say, listen, well, hey, we're doing a party with the doc. We'll host, we'll bring food, bring some shit food. Who cares? Bring football food.
Right.
Maybe not on Super Bowl Sunday, but leading up to it, because they have all types of things starting Monday here in Houston. And just have just make fun of it, ride the wave of the Super Bowl and set up some spinal hygiene talks.
Absolutely.
People love it. And I would throw, and then like perfect example. So if Tabor and I are told to do if we were to do that, Tabor and I would automatically put in some football references to just make it kind of football related or Super Bowl related, but we still get our talk done. So what I'm telling you is like, never underestimate the opportunity always there in front of you and ride it. Like, so next week, I know it's Super Bowl. My dinner this Monday has a Super Bowl theme on it.
Awesome.
I'm not, I mean, you know what? I'll use Super Bowl analogies. Right. But it's the same talk. Of course it is. So, and you know what? Let me tell you, how many people are excited about that dinner with a Super Bowl theme?
I love that.
I mean, it's insane because it's a Super Bowl theme.
Yep.
I'm just showing you guys, do it, get the product. But you know what? If you don't have the product today or yesterday, you're going to miss all the opportunity next week.
You know what? Another great, because that happened to us too for our Christmas party. You know, we try to get 20, 30 people to every dinner workshop. Right. Now, then we did a dinner workshop basically and called it a Christmas party, and we had like 90 people there. It was crazy. So yeah, absolutely. Throw those themes in there. And we have a lot of people on that are doing dinner workshops. If you're doing dinner workshops, you should be out there trying to do some lunch and learns inside businesses. That's where I got really good at speaking because, I'd do one dinner workshop a month. Basically, I'd forget the talk by the time I got to the next dinner and I'd have to restudy it again right before dinner. But when I'm doing 2, talks a week and then leading up to another dinner, I nail the dinner because I've just been giving that talk and I'm so crisp and so, ready to give it. And the more you do those presentations, if you want to get good at speaking, you just got to get out there and do it, man.
Yeah, Tabor, can I talk about a kind of a business aspect of what you just said right there and doing talks in offices? When we do a dinner and it's a free dinner, and you do a talk and it's an office, I'll put it this way, I could guarantee you at that office you do a talk at, 100% of those people have a job. Yeah, there you go. I cannot guarantee that for your dinners. It's a good point. Right? I never thought about that. Well, we switch spots. I think when he's thinking service, I'm thinking business. When I'm thinking service, he's thinking business. We have to do that. So like, there's a service hand and a business hand. I tell you, you do a corporate talk for 5 people. All 5 people have a job. That's right. Just to let you know. Yep. 100%. Awesome, man. Okay, listen, and let me do this, and you guys can stay a little longer. I just want to tell you, Tabor did a sick, fantastic job with this entire launch. Look at the videos. Like, you don't understand. Like, when I'm just looking at just how he had 197, and but do you know, like, he had to make the box and type. Like, when you see there, it just didn't appear. Like, you know, Tabor has 2 offices. He has a wife. He has twins and an older son, 3 kids. He puts up with the same amount of practice stuff we do ×2 because he has 2 offices. And then on his moonlighting time, he runs Thought Leaders and puts together this program. So no, you did a fantastic job. Just think, when you see other launches, I want you to understand that those people have a firm. That's all they do. They are marketing. They build websites like that. That is their full-time job, and that's all they do. And Tabor literally destroys that quality, and he's doing this. I don't know, when we're sleeping. That's when he does. So thank you, Tabor. People might say, but I'm thanking you for that. And understand. So this is not some web company that made this, and we're just spokesmen. Like, Tabor's heart, soul, blood, and bleeding eyeballs are all over this product. And this was something that he's passionate about, as you could see. Like, you saw a new excitement. You saw everybody got on board because, you know, this is Tabor's niche. This is his mission, his calling in his way. And this is a spearhead, so to speak. So I just asked you, just even do it to support him. You get on it, you start at the 197, or be a real committed person, go for the full year and start. You're gonna get millions of dollars worth of benefit, and you're gonna be able to save hundreds of thousands of lives with it. Thanks, man.
Oh, thank you, brother. That means a lot to me.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and hundreds, if not thousands of hours, if you count the experience that I had to get before I was able to even build that.
Yeah.
But thank you all so much. And it is something I love to do. That's, you know, it's not work to me, but I enjoy doing it so much. But I enjoy these shows as well. And join us every week, 8 p.m. right here, Wednesday nights. Thank you, everybody. Click the link below the video, and we'll talk to you very soon. Good night.